Well. Good afternoon, West Ham fans. Let's talk about the Dave Moyes press conference ahead of the game tomorrow against Spurs. Yes, everybody, Russell West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. Hope your Monday. Hope your Monday's going well. David Moyes has just finished his press conference ahead of the game against Spurs tomorrow. 8:15 kickoff. What a random time to be alive. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Let's talk about team news. That's what we all want to talk about straight away. Also, it's worth mentioning, actually, this is Hammer's Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys, anyway, of course. And the day before match day, we use this slot to talk about the Dave Moyes press conference. But anyway, let's get in straight away, talk about the team news. Let's bring it up. Where is it? There we go. Team news. Alphonse Areola's hurt his groins at the moment. It looks like he's going to be out for a little bit. We hope it's not too serious, but Lucas Fabianski will come in. Now Forget trained today, so we'll see how he and everyone else is before tomorrow. So it sounds like one false change. Obviously, Areola went off at half-time in the game against Newcastle, and looks like that Mr. Fabianski will be deputising again. And this is where it's good to have two first-team goalkeepers. So when one is injured, invariably the other one can take over, and hopefully there's no break in service in terms of what you're going to get on the pitch, particularly in a big game like Spurs as well. Fabianski has played many a time for West Ham in these big games, so it's not going to be putting in some rookie, for example. So it's not going to be oh my god. So it's not too bad. Naif, whether he goes with Zuma and Mavropanos again, maybe he does move it around a little bit. I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest. Naif hasn't really done anything to really. I mean, by what he said there, it's not going to. He's trained today, so we'll see how he and everyone else is. So, does he mean it's in? Probably not. I imagine he'll stick with Zuma and flog him to it like a dead horse. Asked about Saturday's game, he says, I didn't think the second penalty should have been given. I think it was the wrong decision. We've had a few decisions to go against us in recent games, but they've gone now, and we have to move on. And we have to move on, indeed. We have to move, of course we do, because the game's going thick and fast. Obviously, Calvin Phillips was one of the questions asked following his video he put up on the on Saturday evening, and obviously we spoke about that yesterday on Easter Sunday, talking about sort of what really happened, not the exaggerations from the press, but asked about that. It says Calvin's a human being, and what he needs is support and everyone to help him, which is what we'll do. We'll send we need our fans to give all our players the support they require. Calvin's a really good player, and I do believe we can still make something out of the time we've got with him here. There's no doubt that Calvin will, it's not, for me, it's not the last. I don't think it'll be the last time you've seen Calvin Phillips in a West Ham shirt. I think he'll still be used with this. I think he won't start tomorrow. I think it's pretty much going to be, bar the Areola and Fabianski, I reckon it's pretty much that side will start, bar any last-minute injuries. But I don't think he's Moyes isn't going to cut off his nose to spite his face in terms of having him as an option. Now, we might not agree with him as an option. We look at people like Flynn Downs, look at Freddie Potts, having great times at Wickham. We look at the bench, you got lots of George Earthy. I think it was the wrong call, and by his own admission, Moyes said it was the wrong call in terms of the Antonio for Phillips option, in terms of the sub for the Newcastle game. But I think you'll still see a bit of him, and it's not like, for me, Phillips is a professional football player. He's been playing, he's 28. And as we said yesterday, there's an opportunity now to use it as a catalyst for the last 8 games left. So when he does play, and obviously that's not including the Europa League games, which will be obviously very, very shortly next week, the first one, the away leg. So I think it's going to be interesting to see the character of the man in terms of how he comes back from that. But we shall see. But he was asked a couple of questions about that. He was also asked about the attack and how what he thinks of our attack He goes, our attack is very good on Saturday. It was very good on Saturday. The likes of Mick getting a goal is very important. Also, don't forget that, in essence, all three of our front three scored. Mikel Antonio scored, obviously, Kadu scored, and Bowen scored. So all three sharing. And obviously, we know Bowen is now one goal away from equaling Paolo Di Canio's all-time Premier League record for goals scored in a single season, which is 16. And he's currently on 15 with 8 games to go. And I think you wouldn't assume that he's not going to do that and not going to surpass that. Maybe even hitting the 20 Premier League goals. It's more than possible. It's 5 goals in the next 8 games. Could happen. Could happen. First time that would have happened since Top Flight. I think it's John Hartson. In terms of just, it's before that, it would have been the season we went up with Sheringham and Marlon Harewood both scoring over 20 goals, I think, in the league. Actually, I don't think John scored. No, he can't have scored 20 goals because it's most would have been 16 in the league, isn't it? This is Paolo's. John scored 26, but a number of them were obviously, he's equaled that. I think 9 were outside. Something like that. But anyway, it's impressive his goal scoring tally this year, in terms of Bowen particularly. Obviously, turning over our attention to Spurs. Asked about them, he goes, Tottenham have done well this season. It's going to be a difficult game. Manager's been effective. We believe in ourselves, and we'll try to reproduce the performance we put in against them in December. And obviously, Spurs got a bit of a hoodoo over us at home. And he goes, asked about that. He goes, we tried over the last few years to challenge the big teams at home. There are a lot of big teams, and we always want to give our fans something to shout about. This is a big game, and it's very important for us. It certainly is, Mr. Moyes. It's our cup final, isn't it? That's what they say, innit? It's our cup final, isn't it? Although the people who say it's our cup final are the Spurs lot talking about us thinking it's our cup final. Living rent free, my friends. And that was it. Really short press conference. Really short, really. In terms of the not the embargo, there was then the embargo section, which comes out about 10:30 tonight usually. So if anything interesting happens there, that will come out. We've put a couple of shows out today already. Spoke about all the loan signings. Holly did a show with David from Blind Bubbles magazine talking about the season so far. And then tomorrow we'll have all the fun affair. We'll have the predicted 11 shows. Probably have match day afternoon, a late lunch, match day late lunch outside the London Stadium if I can get off work early enough. And watch alongs and stuff like 8:15. What a crap time. Anyway, don't forget to check out leeds@mybrand.com for all the latest news, reviews, and opinions. Until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith. Don't eat too many Easter eggs. Much love. Bye bye.